In today's episode, you want me to check that this is your number? Sure. Airline company policy versus mathematician. If you tell your employees that people who want more money should work somewhere else, don't be surprised when they quit. So let's get started. You want me to check that this is your number? Sure. Alright, so, first ever MC post, and there's a good few paragraphs of background before the MC. I'm a bank teller, full-time Monday to Friday. Background info on tellers, and really all bank employees, is that we get paid fairly well and get great benefits to encourage us not to steal. This is important to note because it's a facet to the MC of the story. Now, we have a client who we'll call Jay. Jay is a problematic client as they have accused us of stealing from them multiple times. They've even accused us of stealing from them when they were holding the cash they had just withdrawn in their hand. Suffice to say, none of us like Jay, and we take extra steps to make sure that Jay's transactions have all been properly documented to the umpteenth degree. We have them fill out a withdrawal slip even if they have their card, we write their name on our cash counter tickets whenever we run their transaction, and we staple the white copy of the ticket to the withdrawal slips. Now, as said, Jay has been accusing all of us of stealing from them despite them regularly having their debit card lost and/or stolen from them around town. They have even accused our branch manager of stealing from them. Our branch manager only touches cash when closing or opening an account, otherwise they stay in their office and make calls. And they also have none of the systems in their office that would make stealing possible, not that they would because, once again, the pay is good. With that backstory out of the way, onto the MC. We're having a slow morning, so there's time to answer the phones. Even with lobbies closed and being drive-through only, we get slammed regularly where we don't have time to answer. I pick up when it rings, and it's none other than Jay. What follows is a paraphrased conversation. Me, thank you for calling, bank name, on, street name. This is the Hello one, how can I help you today? Caller. Me, hello? Caller. Me. Hello? Jay, yeah, it's Jay, can you hear me now? Me, oh hey Jay. Yeah, I can hear you now, how can I help you? Jay heatedly, I'm missing money from my account. I had over $100 in there on Friday, and now I have less than $50. Me, oh no, I'll look into that for you. 1 SEC-. Jay, still heated, could you please? Thank you. Me brushes off the anger, I understand client frustrations, and I'm having a pretty okay day all around. Check their account and they are the only one who has done anything with their account. Alright, so I see here where you had those funds on Friday. Then you made a withdrawal-. Jay, yeah. That was the last withdrawal I made. Me, no Jay, you made a withdrawal Monday and yesterday as well. Jay, ignoring me, I've told you all 100 times I don't want anything coming out of that account. I have my cards shipped to you because they get stolen all the time. I don't want anything coming out of that account that I'm not authorizing. Me, and you authorized these 2 withdrawals, I have your slee-. Jay, I need that money to live off of. Nothing else. I don't buy anything else. I use that money to live. I told branch manager to take $300 from my check each month and put it into savings. And I don't see that. Me, as they're ranting, checking their accounts and seeing that they have no savings account. My teller coordinator slips me a piece of paper if Jay thinks they're being stolen from, get them over to fraud. Me, after Jay takes a break in their ranting, Jay, do you think you're being stolen from? Jay, of course I am. I'm losing money. I'm trying to keep my account stable, and it keeps going up and down. Me, well, do you want me to get you over to fraud? Jay, what you can do you even know how to add and subtract? Me, taking a deep breath, yes. I do. And all your transactions add up to what you had Friday and what you have now. Jay, well, what you can do is transfer me to branch manager. Are they available? Me, not missing a beat knowing they are. No, Jay, they're with a client right now. Jay, well, have them call me back. My number is you have my number, in your computer. Me, sad for my manager, goes to check the number. Is it phone number? Jay, let me check. I don't know. I don't call myself. Can you call me? See if that's the number? See if my phone's working? Me, smiling, I can do that for you. I'll have to hang up first though. Is that okay? Jay, yeah, sure. Me, hangs up. Now, our systems are usually up to date because we do service a number of older clients who don't really move at all. But there's times where the account is so old, and they haven't checked with a banker in a while, that the information is wrong. Jay also left no callback number in case this was wrong. So I call. And it rings. And rings. And rings. Robo voice, the number you are trying to reach is no longer in service. Me, smiling as I hang the phone up, guess that wasn't the right number. Oops. Airline company policy versus mathematician. I met my girlfriend, now wife, at a student exchange in Russia before the pandemic, and trusting in the availability of flights we gave it a chance. So when the pandemic hit and borders were closed, we couldn't see each other for about half a year due to visa and travel restrictions. Naturally, we were really desperate, and when Germany finally allowed visa for couples again, we jumped on the opportunity, booked flights immediately, and went on planning our 3 months together. The day before her flight was due, I checked her times again to be double sure, only to find out the flight has been cancelled by the airline, and the platform I booked through didn't inform me. So I called the airline, while also checking other possible flights online. Luckily, there was one via Zurich just some hours later, so after some arguing about the finer points of European law, the airline accepted responsibility even though we had booked through a different platform and rebooked her on this flight. Later that day, my girlfriend calls me crying and explains that she had been rejected by the airline as Switzerland doesn't accept transit passengers from outside Europe, and she is essentially trapped in Moscow now with no way to either come to me or get back home. She is from a different city in Russia. So same thing again, I call the airline. While the law is pretty clear about this, call center agents are trained to use all kinds of tricks for you to either accept a refund or accept other bad conditions. The agent offered either a refund or a flight a week later, as there are no flights available. Neither was satisfactory. A quick internet search yielded several other possible flights from Moscow the next day. It was getting late and I had spent the better part of my day in a queue, arguing with airline representatives over the law, getting hung up upon and comforting my girlfriend. Getting desperate myself, I asked what their policies on accepted flights were in order to get her here. They had to originate from the same airport and be with the same alliance. And sure enough, the next acceptable flight was in a week, while there were still multiple flights available from other airports and alliances. Me, so you are saying that as long as she starts at the same airport and flies with your alliance, all flights are fine? Airline rep, yes, that is correct. Me, and she has to start from Moscow Domodedovo, you can't fly her from Moscow Nukovo? There is one flight available with your alliance. Airline rep, no, she has to start from the same airport. Me, she can take a taxi and be there in an hour. Airline rep, sorry sir, company policy. Q malicious compliance. Me, there is a flight from Domodedovo to St. Petersburg in an hour. If she takes that and flies back to Moscow Nukovo 2 hours later, that would essentially be a very expensive taxi ride, but within company policy, right? I could hear the gears turn over the phone. Defeated, and at the end of his script the representative finally handed me over to his manager, who then approved her to just take a taxi. I picked up my very tired and shaken girlfriend at the airport the next day, and we spent a lovely 3 months together. And sometimes we remember that transitivity is not just a mathematical concept. If you tell your employees that people who want more money should work somewhere else, don't be surprised when they quit. About 4 years ago I worked for a company that provided behavior services for people with intellectual and developmental disabilities. We did individual counseling, parent trainings, data analysis, etc. Think highly specialized mental care and support in home and community settings. Anyway, after 2 years of working there and getting another certification, I asked my boss for a raise. I was newly divorced and raising 3 kids, so I really needed the money. I had been working 10+ hours a week of overtime to stay afloat. My boss also knew about my situation. My evaluations were great and I had been told I would be moved up to supervisor soon, so my boss had to have known this conversation was coming. This man looked me dead in my eyes and said that he knew I wanted to make more money and my reviews were great, but he wanted to make sure I was loyal to the company mission. He told me he can tell when people are just looking to make more money. And we tell those people to go work somewhere else. He wanted to make sure that the new supervisor would put the company mission and families they support first. He told me that he couldn't offer me a raise at that time, but he would get back to me. No date was set for a follow-up meeting or anything. I started applying for new jobs that day. Within 2 weeks I had found a new position making double the salary for only 40 hours of work a week. As it turns out, I was being severely underpaid, shocker I know. The day I handed in my notice, my boss and the owner were in a meeting about my new position within the organization. Of course no one said anything to me about it beforehand. They sent me an offer which I politely declined because it sucked. Then they tried to hire me on as a contractor at a rate that was at least 25% lower than every other contractor rate in the city for my position, so I turned that down too. My boss and the owner were both shocked that I rejected their offers, especially since they were willing to offer me so many perks. They were giving me the opportunity to become a leader in a great company and believed I was a great clinician who would do so many great things within their organization, etc. I reminded my boss that he is the one who told me to go work somewhere else, and then I stopped responding to their messages. If you made it to the end of the video, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe and share, and we will see you in the next video.